fuck it. We should just talk about kitty cats. You know what they don't tell you about cats? They're fucking gross.
Cats are nasty.
They're nasty.
But I love my cat. I've had my cat for a long time. That cat is 14 years old.
Trust me, I love mine as well. But I don't think we're talking about the same thing. But no, cats are great, but they're also really gross. And that's something that people don't talk about ever. It's just, oh, fuzzy little baby kitty cat. No, these bitches are going to puke all over everything you own. They're going to kick their fucking kitty litter all over the place, and it's going to get stuck to your feet, and it's going to suck.
Yeah, and there's also the hairballs whenever you're walking barefoot, at nighttime with all the lights off, and you just want to go to the kitchen to get a drink of water.
It's like if a turd was a sponge.
Oh, it's so gross. And they sit there, and then, Sindel, my cat, will just look at it. She'll start going, wow. That's how you know she's going to throw up. And then she does that undulation thing. On wrestling, whenever you see Otis from freaking, the Alpha Academy, and he starts ripping off his shirt and starts doing the worm. That's what Sindel does. She starts undulating like that, and then just harfs up something horrible.
Yeah, some eldritch horror from deep within the bowels of her, bowels.
But yeah, I love cats. I truly do, but they're gross.
Matt loves pussy. But yeah, they're nasty as fuck. Although I will say, I would still choose cats over most dogs. Most dogs. And that's the thing with dogs is also the thing with kids. I don't like other people's. I don't like other people's kids. I don't like other people's dogs. I mean, I have met some kids and dogs and, combinations of the two, that were very tolerable though. And the reason for that is because they actually put in the work to train them to not be little fuckheads. Most people do not do that, however. Yeah, so they just,
I don't know. I've had some dogs that were pretty chill, and I've had some dogs that were just maniacs, and I've had some cats that were maniacs too. I used to have a cat named Jules the Anarchist. I don't know why I named this cat that. I was like 12, 13. So, but the cat, my mom hated that cat so much, just had the worst animosity towards Jules the Anarchist. But this cat would just dart around the room, just look at me, and then just jump on the wall with claws extended, and then just using, her body weight would just let herself just drag down the wall, just scraping the paint. That cat was just a menace.
Oh my God, I love it. I believe that cats will take on the personality of whatever you name them after. So that was entirely your fault. And I know this to be true because I once had a cat that I named Voodoo.
Oh no.
Who would climb the screen to the back door when she wanted to come inside and just hang there. Mid-screen and just scream into the house at us until we let her in. So, and it really did appear, especially at night, that some sort of haunted voodoo spirit was screaming it out at you from the dark. So, no offense to voodoo practitioners or anything. I was a dumb kid and that's what I wanted to name my cat, but they do take on the personality of whatever you name them after.
Man, that's making me think back to all the different cats I had and all the different crazy, horrible names that me and Tommy had named all of our pets. We didn't just name our own pets, we named all the neighborhood animals. So did we somehow have some sort of horrible outcome on the neighborhood animals because we named them?
Probably.
Okay, so when I lived in Norman, there was this big fucking ugly dog, and he was just the grossest fucking thing named Steven Seagal. And like Steven Seagal was just like, he would roll around in trash, and just like poop in people's yards. He had like the meanest poops. And there was another dog. He was kind of like he kind of looked like a Shiba Inu, but he was a mutt, but that was Taco. And Taco was always digging around in the trash, so if it wasn't Taco, it was Steven Seagal. And there were like these two other like native kids that lived like down the street from us, like named Michael and Toe. And like, those were our homies, we grew up with those guys, our moms knew each other, But anyway, they had this uncle named Cub, and Cub would like, Cub would get drunk. And
You've
just like,
definitely told me that story before.
Oh, whenever my mom thought it was, she thought it was Taco or Steven Seagal digging in the trash because she heard some like rustling around, like on the porch, and she opens up the door. There's no dog. It's just Cub. Like, do you love me? And she was like, I don't even know you. And then just like shut the door. As she's like locking everything, she could hear him muttering around, if they don't love me, fuck them. And just kind of starts walking off into the night. Who does that though? You open the door. You're drunk sitting on someone's porch. And someone opens the door, you go, do you love me? What the hell?
Some people's children, I'm telling you.
Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx.
Hi, my name is Sabrina, and if I were in the movie The Lost Boys, I think I would be Laddie, because I am also cute and like to bite things.
It's true. And if I were in the movie The Lost Boys...
You gotta say your name first.
Oh, yeah. My name is Matt, and if I were in the movie The Lost Boys, I'd be the sexy sax man. Because fuck it, that's why. But think about it, I got the moves.
I thought you were going to say you would be the grandpa because you love stuffing beavers.
And this is Sumo Punx. And today we got to talk to Justin Kizzart of Dark Circle Sumo.
Yes!
What is he? He would be my grandson pie.
Yeah.
But Justin actually helped us a whole lot with getting Kurowashi Sumo set up, and he really has been very inspirational and instrumental, with bringing sumo to Texas, all over North Texas.
Oh, yeah. And he's the progenitor of one of my favorite sumo tournaments, the Consulate Cup, which is happening this Saturday.
Hell yeah. The Consulate's Cup is one of the biggest tournaments of the year, and people from all over the place are flying in. There's Georgians flying in.
Oh, yeah. We got Georgians. We got Egyptians.
Word around the campfire.
Californians.
There was word around the campfire. There's going to be Congolese there, too.
Congolese? Like people
from the Congo, yeah.
From the Congo. Oh, my God. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, word around the campfire. Don't know for sure, but that's what I heard. So.
Nice.
But it's going to be a badass tournament. I think this is the fourth one that they've had, and we've been to 3 out of 4 of those.
Yeah, we've been
All right,
to
this
the
will be the third.
majority.
Yeah, this will be the 3rd out of the 4.
Yeah, the last one was so cool, just so awesome, and I think that was the first time. Was that the first time you went traditional at a tournament?
Yeah,
I think it was. I have so many pictures of your cute little butt cheeks on my phone now. And then remember the first one when we first got to meet a whole bunch of people that we're just super good friends with now.
Yeah, we got to meet Eric Wynn for the first time because we interviewed him first, and then we got to meet him in person.
Yeah.
And then, oh man, that's where we met everybody. That's the first time I got to talk to Brenda and Kelly Ann.
Yeah.
And now look how long it's been, and now look where we are. It's pretty fucking cool. And it all honestly really started with the Consulate's Cup.
And speaking of badass tournaments,
Of course, this weekend, October 26th, is the Consulate's Cup at Dreamland in Dripping Springs, Texas. Sign-ups close Wednesday, October 23rd at midnight. So that's going to be at darkcirclesumo.com. November 9th, Midwest Sumo Open. It's at Banneker Center, 930 West 7th Street, Bloomington, Indiana, from noon to 4 local time. And then, again on November 9th, halfway around the world, the Euro Cup 3 sumo tournament in Norway.
we're not sure where in Norway,
But it's in Norway. And then February 1st, the Mighty Eagle Teams tournament.
Yeah.
The Met is coming back to San Antonio at Rolling Oaks Mall. I love that mall.
Yeah.
And I love that little D&D store that lets us poop in there.
Yeah.
Because y'all are the real MVPs. And then February 22nd, the SoCal Sumo Open in San Diego
Yes.
returns.
Ooh,
I
hope we get to
love
make
the
it out this
SoCal
year.
Sumo Open.
I'm gonna keep all my fingers and toes crossed that we can actually go
Just
out to
get all we
California
need
for
is
that.
just the money. That's all
Yeah,
we need.
just
Just
give
the
us money. Just give us money me now, money me forever. Okay.
All right, and if you want to keep up with all of the different sumo events all around the country, you can go to sumo411.com.
And as Matt just mentioned, the registration for competing in the Consulate's Cup does end Wednesday. You can buy your tickets up until Wednesday as well if you want to be a spectator and actually like get a seat to watch and not have to like stand at the sidelines and, peek through the crowd.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's something that's always been on your bucket list, I say do it now because this year is going to be bigger and better than ever.
Hell
Definitely
yeah.
check it out on the live stream if you don't get a chance to show up in person.
Live stream will be on the Dark Circle Sumo YouTube channel. Will start at 11 a.m. Central Time.
Yes.
All right, and without further ado, here is Justin Kizzart of Dark Circle Sumo. Who we have with us today is the illustrious, the indomitable, the mighty Justin Kizzart, the Oyakata of Dark Circle Sumo.
Hello.
Host of Skankin Sumo and host of his own morning basho coverage, Breakfast and a Basho. How you doing today, Kizzart?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, Breakfast and a Basho has been taken off. It's kind of crazy. There's like a very organic following of Breakfast and a Basho, and it's been my favorite way to wake up. It's like my morning coffee because I get all the adrenaline rush, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta go to work, and I don't know. It's a great little rush for the day.
Do you find that talking about sumo for about an hour or so every morning helps you to get through your workday better?
No. No. But I will say it does do one thing for me. It does as far as like public speaking and then also being quick with my knowledge. It's nice refreshers when I see different kimarite and just learning a lot of the new people. Some of the people share, some of the people will let me know like, oh, if we're watching Judio, it's like, oh, this is a new face that I haven't seen, and they'll kind of like give me a quick backstory like that. I forget his name, but there's a new European. I think he's
Awanishki.
Ukrainian.
Awanishki.
Oh, Nishiki?
Yeah, it's Amanishki's new student.
Oh.
But he's
Yeah.
just like skyrocketed through the.
He is shooting up. And so that's what this does for me. Like it keeps me keeps me up to date and on my toes, and people share their knowledge, and it's really fun. It's really fun. And for me I'm not really knowledgeable about video editing. My background is in like, more of the like a graphic design and stuff. I'll make you a cool t-shirt and I can make
Hey.
I can make you a cool flyer, all that kind of stuff. But video editing, not my wheelhouse. But
Yeah.
so I can, but as far as live streaming, I don't have to edit anything. It's all live. I just had to learn. I had to learn live streams so I can like build the skins. But I'm like, okay, that's graphic design. Like I can,
Yeah.
I can make all that, um, and then just click and go live.
Hell
So
yeah.
that's been fun. It's been a fun learning process. Yeah, it's fun.
I really like that you guys have kind of developed your own like culture and breakfast in a boss show. You guys have your own memes. I
Right?
love
Yes.
that.
Yes. They have slowly evolved over time. I mean, little thing, we got the little thick boy club, which dude, it's become a thing. I'm actually well, I wasn't gonna well, yeah, I guess I could say it. Yes, I am going to be finally creating a little thick boy club t-shirt. Uh
Nice.
I've been inspired and I'm like, okay, I gotta knock this out. But it it may or may not release at the Consulate's Cup. I don't know. We'll see. Because I'm already putting money down for like the two our two cord Dark Circle designs, and that's already like damn it, like $1,800 kind of thing.
Oh,
It's
wow.
yeah. Yeah, getting getting a lot of t-shirts, but they tend to sell out. So I'm like, okay, I hope people still buy a lot more t-shirts because this is going to be quite the investment.
I still have that t-shirt with the Rikshi on the bicycle that I bought at, I think it was it the first Roller Town tournament? It
Yeah,
was a Dark Circle t-shirt with the bicycle. And I gotta tell
yeah.
you, that's one of the most comfortable
That is
t-shirts
a
that
I
I
nice
don't,
shirt.
coming from a fashion background, like I just don't skimp on the quality of the shirts and the quality of
fully
the prints.
appreciate that.
Yeah, it just it irks me when a t-shirt is too, when it's scratchy and the print is like, five
Those
layers thick.
Gildan shirts. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not good.
And I get it. I get it. They're cost effective. I get it. But for me, I'm just like, no, like if I'm gonna make something, I want to make something that I would wear any day, every day.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, too, the Kurowashi members love t-shirts. They are obsessed with t-shirts. So all of our folks that we're bringing out there, and we're bringing more than just our competitors too. We
Oh,
have,
good,
a
good,
bunch
good.
of other people coming to cheer everybody on.
The
And
fan club.
Oh yeah.
yeah, no,
We're watching bus.
we have an entire Kurowashi what is
Cohen cut.
Koenkai, yeah.
Nice.
They're making signs and everything.
Oh
But
my gosh.
And what
yeah,
was her name? One of them, Celeste, actually used to live in Japan.
yeah.
And so
She
Oh, cool.
speaks Japanese, doesn't she?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So her and her sister is Dan Sesky's wife.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
like whenever we have Keiko and they're there, sometimes you'll hear like yeah, like Japanese style cheering in the background while we're like, having the incidents.
Sitting at the front of the dojo and they'll be like, "Ah." But yes, we are a very t-shirt oriented sumo organization.
Yeah, you'll
Well, in
definitely
in
buy
punk
some.
fashion, all of mine will always be like black and white shirts.
Yes.
Nice.
We
Always.
appreciate that. As someone who only wears black, I appreciate that.
I love it. It's my favorite color too.
Hell
So
yeah.
so it sounds like you are just so surrounded by sumo all the time. But
Yeah.
I want to bring it back to the beginning. I want to talk about young Justin Kizzart and how he discovered sumo and ended up getting so obsessed with it. How did that start?
It started because of my wife's grandmother, to be
Oh,
honest with you, in Japan. And it was kind of by accident. Like, so my wife at the time, my girlfriend, we went to Japan for the first time. And this was about 10 years ago, I guess. And she, at the time I spoke no Japanese, and so she kind of left me at the house one day and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get my hair done," and I was just stuck there with her grandmother who spoke no English and I spoke no Japanese, and so it was just a awkward old time. But But then she had sumo wrestling on the TV, and that was my. It wasn't my first time seeing sumo wrestling, but I think it's the first time that I sat and watched intently. And with my background in martial art, I've been doing, mixed martial arts since I was 13. So I've been, jujitsu. I have 2 world medals in jujitsu.
Nice.
Whoa.
Yeah, those two big golden ones over there. Those are 2 jujitsu.
Wow.
Yeah, judo, got several judo medals and stuff. But
Hell
so
yeah.
anyways, been doing that. When I saw sumo, I saw certain guys doing like serious like judo moves. A lot of the Mongolians and stuff that were at the time not even Yokozuna yet, but a lot of that trifecta of Mongolians were just killing it, and I was like, this is amazing. You can see, you could appreciate the wrestling, the judo style, the throws and everything. And I got obsessed. And so when we got back, I was just like, I was watching the boss shows for at least 6 months before I think in 2016, I was like, there has to be sumo outside of Japan. And of course, at the time, and even 2016 doesn't feel that far away, but even in 2016, there wasn't a lot of uh stuff to find on the internet for
Mhm.
sumo. But I went digging, and then I found out that one of the largest clubs in the US at the time was in Los Angeles. So I told my wife, I was like, honey, I think I'm gonna try this out.
So you were
And
living in Los Angeles at the time.
yeah.
Mhm.
I've lived in LA for most of my adult life, like 15 years or
Oh,
so.
wow.
Yeah, it was quite a while. And yeah, and come to find out, there was Yama up, and they were in North Hollywood. And at the time, I was living not too far from North Hollywood, kind of close to Glendale, which is an area called Cypress Park. And
Mhm.
so I just they had practices up there. I went, and there was Takeshi, Yama, and at the time, I think there was like only 3 other dudes. This guy named John Toigo, who used to be in the game, and then he just like disappeared. And who else? I think Monster was there at the
Oh
time.
yeah.
Monster.
We saw Monster at the what do you call that? The SoCal Sumo Open.
Oh, okay.
He's a little weird, but cool. He's a unique character. I will say that. He is his
Hey, people
own
say that
character.
about us all the
So
time.
he was
So
intriguing though. When I saw him, like it was one of the SoCal Sumo Opens we had commentary for. I was intrigued. I was like, I want to see how this guy fights. What's this guy
Yeah.
gonna do? His name's Monster. Let's see him be Monster.
He was a strong, skinny guy. He had the sumo spirit, and I like that about him.
Hell
And
yeah.
and then I think there were 1 or 2 other. Andrew was there as well, of course. And 1 or 2 other people. Anyways, and I fell in love with it. Uh, I'm kind of bummed that I got into it like a little late that year, 2016, because by the time I was, fairly. I mean, I don't think I was ready, but by the time I was fairly ready for a tournament, it was already 20, I think February of 2017 was the one that Andrew had signed me up for, and it was the US Nationals, but it was a non-qualifying year because they had
oh.
just had the qualifiers for Worlds that year.
Ah.
So who knows who I could have been at Worlds, I could have been on the world team 4 times. I don't, maybe. But yeah, that first year it was in like my first tournament in San Antonio. There was just a handful of people. Back in the day, there was not a lot of people that went to
Yeah.
tournaments outside of the US Open. And it was me, Cornelius, and Andrew, and like 2 other lightweights. And I beat Corny's ass. And he said he knows it. And he was just like, who the fuck
He don't
is
like
this
it.
guy? But Andrew beat me. I mean, he had the experience. I was just, I was too new. Um, but yeah, and Corny, I'll never forget it. Corny was so fucking hot. He was so mad. He was just like, he goes, wait, wait, who are you? And I was like, my name is Justin. I just started, and then after the tournament, he just goes, I, I want a rematch. And I was like, what? What are you talking about, dude? I just beat you. I was like,
Your
go away.
Cornelius impression is perfect, by the way.
Oh, he is the love of my life.
I love that guy.
Good,
He's
because
the
we got
Buddha
questions
of
about
my
that
heart.
later. We actually heard that when you were younger, you used to actually be like a little punk kid, like a little skater
Yeah.
boy.
Oh
Was
yeah.
this when you were in California too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you
For
like
sure.
skateboarding to your Keiko and
Well,
everything?
no, so skateboarding was in the mid 90s, but like
Ah,
all of the early 2000s up to like 2011, it was more in the like fixed gear bike scene. And
ah,
so we kind of were the ones that like really kick off that whole like
I remember.
fixed geared world.
Yeah, so you were a
It,
bike punk.
oh
Bye,
yeah.
bye,
I
bye,
mean,
bye.
and I rolled with all of the originals that that really started things like the Midnight Riders.
Oh
There
wow.
was the Mom Riders. There was a bunch of us. They even did there was a documentary that I'm in on Netflix. It was called To Live and Ride in LA. Uh,
Nice.
We gotta go watch
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Those are all, and that was all my crew, and
Yes.
it was a different life. It was a different life. I've lived many lives, and I used to throw alley cat races. I don't know if you know what those are.
Huh.
I
That
can
alley cat
imagine.
so alley cat races, it's basically it's an all city race. You're on your bike or whatever, and you have what's called a manifest, and that manifest has different checkpoints. And however you get there is how you get there throughout the city. You have to know the city. And we would be just mashing through traffic, holding on to
Oh,
trucks,
Oh, that's
wild as fuck.
badass.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a real crusty life, but and I lived in a shit house with four other dudes, but my rent was like $400 or 375.
Nice.
So for that in LA, awesome.
Hell yeah.
And some of our bike crew were also graffiti dudes, and so I won't go into too much
Nice.
detail, but yes, part was with the JDI crew for a little bit, and I did some illegal activities after dark.
I mean, I'm a big fan of graffiti art
Shout out to
myself,
JDI crew.
so we can talk about that a little more afterwards.
Yeah, I'm still a pretty prolific artist myself, but I usually stick to things that I am allowed to,
Yeah.
I'm too old to be, sneaking out at night.
Exactly.
I
That's
make
that's
fewer
why I kind of
stencils
stopped.
these days and more stickers. I think that's a little easier to get away with.
Yeah, but like
And
what
that's what
what
most of them were actual solid graffiti artists, and for me it was more I would make more like a wheat paste and stuff like that. Like I was
Yeah.
more it was quicker, it was faster, and
yeah.
I can get
Yeah.
up, I can get up a lot quicker. And I just was not that great with spray.
I was never too great with it myself. That's why I mostly use stencils. And I've done some like wheat pasting and stuff as well. But I mean, I got too much other shit to do these days to even be fucking
Yeah.
around with any of that. But I do always keep one of those big fat Sharpies in my
Those
bag.
magnums. She has
The big boys.
Yeah.
Every now
Sometimes
and
they're
then you
like,
need a
"Oh,
little
this is
whiff.
perfect. Where's your magnum?"
Yeah.
Got
But
them right.
yeah, it does sound like you've lived quite a few different lives
I
so
did.
far.
Hell
Part
yeah.
of that was also eventually moving to Texas
Yeah.
and starting your own sumo club. So what was it that made you want to start your own sumo club?
Well, I didn't want to stop. I moved here and I didn't want to stop doing sumo. There wasn't anything out there and I was driving every week because sumo at that by that time had already become such an integral part of who I am and to be to and I just all I knew was my LA team, like people like Danny Avila, Kellyanne, all those people, and JJ, like all those people that were so, I don't know, core to my life. I just got that stripped away from me, and
Yeah.
but I had to, I moved here for a better, I mean, to buy a house, basically a better life kind of thing, and because it was just I was making good money
The
in
reason
LA.
a lot of people move from California to Texas, basically.
It
Yeah.
wasn't making any financial sense. Like
Hmm.
I loved my friends, and I of course I still do, and I loved I loved like all the like the community, me and my wife's close friends, the sumo community, but it just I had to do something for us, and it just didn't make any financial sense to be there. So, and now I have a gorgeous house.
Hell yeah.
Hell
So
yeah.
I did follow through on that dream. Um, but when I moved here, of course, there was nothing. There was like three people in Houston, and they were all kind of, shout out to Will, but they were a little more older, a little seasoned, and then
Mm.
there was the and they weren't looking to like, really expand this thing. But then there was San Antonio. And so I was driving every single week down to San Antonio. And from here, that's about, because they're like in the other side of San Antonio, it was about an hour and 20 minutes,
Yeah.
almost an hour and a half every week after work.
Yeah.
And I just
Driving through Austin traffic and then driving through San Antonio traffic does not
it
sound
was a
very
bit
fun.
much. So I just said, hey, I talked to Takeshi, and he was like, you got the skill set, to start your own. And that was scary as hell. To start my own. And so I started with my old coworker, and we were just out on a baseball field. But I knew I really wanted to grow sumo in Texas. I was like, Texas is untapped. All the best fighters were on the West Coast, and I'm like, you know what? I'm here. I'm gonna make this my home again, and make it a hub and a home for sumo. And I just went ham for and I just went crazy, and that it was just my main focus, is just to grow. And I got lucky. This guy that I met had was teaching Aikido. At the time I was managing a sake bar because I wanted a break from the design world.
Right.
And so I was like, well, what else do I like to do? And I was like, well, I do
Drink
homebrew
sake.
sake. So, and these guys needed some help, so I helped rebrand them, and we helped them grow. But out of the bar, you meet all kinds of people, of course,
Yeah.
and that helped me meet new people to who and introduce them to sumo. I would have sumo playing on the TV, so it sparked conversation, in the bar. So people who are, you talking about Texans who
That's
are used to
brilliant.
sitting there watching football, and I was like, no, let me preach you the gospel of sumo. And they're like, wow, and of course, like most people, they watch it and they're just like, man, I never thought I'd be into this, but I like this. And I'm like, yes, let me tell you of these Rikishi.
Yeah.
So, and it it was the reason why I got my first place, the Aikido studio, because of the guy that came in was a regular, and we got to talking about sumo, and I was just like, yeah, I started a sumo club with me and our head brewer at the sake place, and it was just two of us, and that grew. Once I got the Aikido place, I was like my own first, like you guys, my own first dojo. It's a little
Yeah.
scary, and had no dohyo, and I would actually tape it. I found a method of taping a circle perfectly, and so we would do it. I would tape it, and yeah, it grew from there. COVID kind of fucked things up.
Yeah.
but it was, it was, great growing pains. But it just word of mouth and people from the bar who were like, I'm gonna try it out. And we grew, and we were one of the first clubs, and I had like such a solid all-star team with like Eros and Sam Kimka, and I think we were one of the first to do a three-peat, like straight golds at the 2020. Yeah, the 2020 Nationals. And
Nice.
that's that picture.
Oh, that is
I
was my
badass.
about
all that.
that.
That was my dream team. That was my
Yeah.
dream team.
Is that the
So
nationals that happened in Austin?
no, this was in Philly.
Okay, okay.
Ah.
Yeah. So we were that, and then as soon as we're flying back from this, I think when we had a layover, I started looking on the new. I saw the news, and they were like, the NBA shut down, and I was just like, oh, this COVID thing's real. And
Oh
then of
shit!
course,
Yeah.
and then the fucking world ended.
Yeah. That's what happened with when we were in the grocery store because we had heard about the pandemic, but then once we saw all the most of the food and the toilet paper was gone, we were like, oh my God, is it? And when the hand sanitizer was all
Yeah.
gone, we were like,
Yeah,
oh,
that was
this
a big
thing is
thing.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were like, oh, this
Here.
is just going to be another, like, SARS or bird flu or whatever. Like, yeah, a few people are going to get it, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. But no, it blew the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And that following year was my very first. I don't know. I was not. COVID wasn't going to stop me from doing sumo stuff. I mean, seriously, people were real renegade or punkish about it, and like there was yoga studios closing down, and different martial arts closing down, and we all just kind of like started getting together. And I like for a while, we were in this lady's yoga studio with like two other groups that had lost their place and stuff. So we are just like little homeless children. And like privately doing sumo and be like, okay, do sumo at your own risk, and or
Yeah.
and so but we kept it going, even started the Consulates Cup in the middle of COVID.
In the middle of the pandemic.
In the
Yeah.
middle of COVID. That was the first Consulates Cup in 2021. Yeah, because this is the fourth Consulates Cup. Yeah, in 2021, at my buddy's jujitsu gym. And we were being safe. If you look back at the video,
Mhm.
we had the chairs. They were 5 feet apart or whatever. So we only had like a 20 people or so, or that were seated. That could
Yeah.
be watch. But and two of those people were Corey and Siggy, and so they watched sumo and came back for they were just spectators at the time and came back to try sumo, and so they had a few classes with me, and I was like, yo, there's nobody in Dallas right now, I think you guys should start something. And so they did. And I was just like, they were like, what, we don't know anything. I'm like, I got you. I've got a frame. I took the time to build a solid framework for my class, kind of a mix of of my martial arts background on top of the LA style. And LA style is more traditional. It was just like do some Shiko, light warm up, and then just matches. It was but I really wanted to be able to actually break down different moves and stuff. So I want if I started my own club, I wanted to be able to have my own structure that worked for a Western audience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For people where sumo is not just ingrained in the culture.
Mhm.
So you have to dissect those moves, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You can't just willy-nilly just do matches all day. I mean, because if you're doing matches all day and you're doing the wrong thing, it's counterproductive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Yama said too when we recently interviewed him, is that, for a Western audience, for people who haven't grown up with sumo, you need to really like have more of a breakdown of why you're doing all this stuff. Yeah.
And there's like this whole philosophy of movement or what was it, like not like a kinesthetic anthropology kind
Mm.
of thing going on with Japanese movements. So I recently it sparked my interest whenever we were watching Shogun, the new Shogun.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
they were talking about how they had consultants that were teaching the actors how to move correctly. So
Yeah.
like, especially like, wearing the blocky sandals and,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
even to like get down into Seiza and open a door, like that kind of thing. There's like a very specific way to move, whenever you're performing these roles. And so I started seeing that a lot of these movements are kind of they're practically the same, but there's variations, especially within like Aikido. We have
Yeah.
a few Aikido students, that do sumo with us. And so, the thing of finding your center, and then there's a walk. Was it Tomiki style? It's kind of like a sport Aikido style, but there's a walk, like a 12-step walk that's basically all the different, move sets in Aikido, and it's the footwork. But one of the parts is when you have your hand in the center, it's almost just like Supari, but your hand in your center, is strongest. But
That's your sword. Yeah.
two hands in the center, whenever you have the
Careful,
oh,
careful.
sorry. But yeah, two hands in the center like that. And you're in a deeper stance than your Aikido stance, so it's like the movements like are just kind of variation of like this one root thing. And it's
Yeah.
even like the terminology, of the techniques in Aikido, and then you look at the techniques in sumo, and now the Kimarite, it's like you kind of start to see the philosophy of why they call these movements certain things, or why they're referred to, as certain, like, the otoshi,
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
higeshi, kirikaeshi, the kaeshi part, but that was so cool to me to be able to like, start to break down those movements, because it's helping me relay the movements and the reason for these movements like a
Right.
lot better.
So
Mhm.
you mentioned that you came up with like a framework for a Keiko, right?
Yeah.
What is your overall philosophy for teaching sumo? What does that look like?
Well, overall, like it kind of goes off of the core values of sumo, which you've got knowledge. So we do have typically I guess the second or third, I guess the third portion of it is, like there's a technique of the day, and there's the breakdown, and also, your strength. Of course, you have to help build up your strength. So I do also, the second portion of it is always is a strength building. We do different exercises you've seen on the videos and stuff, and we go hard, and then and your soul, and being able, obviously doing matches and being able to push through. Sometimes we'll do gauntlet matches, and being able to push through those things, matches in Butskari. And so my class is typically broken up into fours. The beginning, of course, for us, and which I don't want anybody to get injured, so we start with Shiko and stretching. Then we go into strength and conditioning. Then we go into technique, and then we go into just straight matches. And then once you're at your worst and your tiredest, Butskari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, and there's just the first quarter and the last quarter are never change, but every week there's a different, whether it's technique or it's strength and conditioning, those change. And so I try to, especially with the technique, I try to build out a theme for that month. And it's like, okay, well, this month we're working on footwork. And so a lot of the different importance of footworks in different positions. We've got, the neutral one in, one out position. You've got a same side kind of open V position. There's all these kinds of things that people don't really think about their feet. So that's what we did all the month of August. And there, and sometimes we're focused on just shitatenage, watenage, like different techniques off of the belt. and then also or for like and those are more defensive like timing techniques
Mm-hmm.
versus more aggressive yorikis, uwatenage, like straight down, and stuff like that, or leg stuff, doing a bunch of learning, focusing on leg stuff. And so I'll just keep that theme running throughout the month.
I like that you do that thematically.
Yeah.
I'm OCD. It is a problem.
Because we just went, well, okay, well, we did Kataskashi. Okay, now Totari. So we're just kind of, flipping through the Tom Zabel book.
Yeah, different
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
The-
And it doesn't always look the best, especially when we're first starting out. So stop commenting on our Instagram posts, please. Eventually we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, teaching is also learning. And
Mhm.
it is for a lot of people, and you guys are starting, you're starting to learn, but like it's different. I've been doing this like teaching for 5 years. When you're a student of sumo, it's a selfish thing. You're just constantly, you're just consuming, and that's it. You're consuming and retaining and doing. And it's all it's all for me, and I don't have to think about anything else other than what the teacher, Yama or Takeshi was teaching me.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, and it was a very simple life. Then I take that, I go out there and I win. Okay, cool. Being, being Oyakata is tough. You are, you're learning from them as well. But at the same, sometimes you're a counselor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yes.
People go through shit. We are humans.
Gotten into that lately. Yeah.
We are all human beings. And I'm, and you don't know who your a new student is that comes through the door. Now, luckily, I've been pretty blessed with like really, really awesome people from different walks of life, and you have to juggle those personalities.
Mm.
You're not only a counselor, sometimes you're the goddamn babysitter. You're a diva sitter.
Definitely a diva sitter.
I mean, it's and you just have to you're like it's like you're a parent. These are your kids in a sense. And of course, we're all grown ass adults, but in a sense, it is a parent like feeling. Because you do, if one of my students gets hurt or whatever, or is down, like it affects me. It affects me, and I still, all my students who've even they have moved on and have, I think, done other things. I still keep up with them. They're still family to me. I do not excommunicate anybody just because they stopped doing sumo for whatever the reason, injuries or or life things. And it just feels like a part of a connected family. And that was the whole reason I started doing the anniversary campouts too. Because it's usually after, right, it's in June, and typically it's after Worlds. It's always after Worlds. And it's just a way to, or not Worlds, sorry, Nationals.
Right.
And it's a way to kind of like, everybody can let loose, we get crazy, crazy drunk and true. We won't talk about all the details. Yeah. But it's a fun, it doesn't always have to be about grinding in the dojo, but there's a part of it that is the community part that we all love. We fight hard, and then afterwards we hang out and go crazy.
Play hard.
We play hard. There is one place that is still on the map in my heart, because I'm like, my whole like thought about Texas sumo and its and its dominance. El Paso needs a
Oh
sumo
yeah.
club.
I've
That
been
way
thinking
we
about
have an
that too.
excuse. We have an excuse to go down to Marfa.
Yeah.
That's
Oh my
perfect.
I
God.
know. Everybody road trips out and we just go get fucking weird in
Yes.
and have a sumo tournament at what is that? El Cosmico.
Yeah.
It would it's been in my mind, and then I could just see the t-shirts that had like the glow in the dark ink of like aliens doing sumo on a little
Oh yes,
dude.
that's bad.
I
Fuck
I
yeah.
I swear to God, nobody better steal that shit.
It's copyrighted.
God damn it.
Kizzart righted.
I
No,
totally
we
should have kept that in my
uh,
mind until opportunity for an El Pasian to start sumo.
we
Oh
actually
well.
have a member of Kurowashi who lives like right across the border in New Mexico too. So they only get to come out like a few times a year to train with us.
Oh
Um,
shit, that's right. Y'all are kind of yeah, I guess New Mexico's
yeah.
right there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because even El Paso is like 10 hours from here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if there was something in El Paso, that'd be easier for Seth to get to, though.
Yeah, that'd be a lot easier for him to get to. I also
New
wanted to
Mexico
like
doesn't have a sumo club.
they
They
don't,
don't.
no.
We just have
If
So our
our
goal
one
eventually
guy.
is to convince him to start his own sumo club in New Mexico.
that would be the first in the state and
But
our sister state.
hell yeah. And then some of the other cities in Texas like Amarillo and like I don't know, what is it? Like Lubbock. Yeah.
Amarillo
Yeah.
by morning.
Yeah.
I
I
can't
love
hear
that
the
song.
name of that city without that song that one line
It
popping into
has
my
to.
head.
It has to. Yeah, exactly. Can't just casually say Amarillo without, your voice dropping a
Amarillo.
few optics or optics, whatever. I don't know what you call it.
So getting back on track here.
Sorry. Sorry, I know
It's
that
No,
my
we
fault.
all do it.
I
We
do it all
all
the
do
time.
it.
I was like, ooh, Amarillo.
But
Focus. Go ahead.
you,
Go ahead.
you did tell us some of your philosophy for teaching and everything. What is some advice that you could give to new sumo clubs who are just starting out? Like, what specific methods would you advise they start using and stick with?
Yeah. Um, and for a lot of people don't know how secretly I'm in the background of like and helping out a lot of clubs. Clubs like DMV DMV, Jake's Club, all these other people that underground I've just been like giving them the playbook. And so it really is those four core pillars that like in a nutshell, it's those four core pillars. But more importantly, and again, this is what also I helped Chicago guy Matt and all the
Yeah.
Chicago guys like when he was first starting, like I basically said, all the things that I've told you guys, but at the same time, also to help grow your club in the community, you have to have your outreach to the Asian community and every community has their pocket. You just need to find the one in your area, and
Mm-hmm.
Matt definitely took that and ran with it, and he got of course he got a huge blessing with Yama moving there and just watching them blow up. DMV has connected with their Asian community and helped them blow up. Like it's and that gives you exposure, and it gives you connections to the events that a lot of the Asian community throws. It doesn't necessarily just have to be Japanese. There's like because
Yeah.
connections with the Taiwanese community here and all of them, and because they all end up eventually doing like different Asian festivals together.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really important thing, especially, and it was something that I found was like such a door opener, and it wasn't really happening with clubs, you know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Like most people don't really know. It was outside of Los Angeles, there wasn't a lot of action across the United States. It
Yeah.
really wasn't.
Yeah.
It was pretty no, but there was no organization, people, and there wasn't much structure to a lot of these smaller clubs. Some of these clubs were just two people, and uh,
Yeah.
two, three people, and and the internet really helped. And not to say the internet wasn't already there, but I'm saying the use of social media to connect the dots and to expose people, like it just really it really helped it blow up.
Hell
And
yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I think I was one of the first to actually put like videos of Keiko and stuff like that, and actually try to create an online presence with our Instagram and all that stuff. And then everybody was just like, "Oh shit! All right, that's what we got to do." And so I pride myself on being one of the first to kind of
Hell
like
yeah.
use the internet the way it should be used to expose our sport. Uh,
Yes, yes. Because I
Sadly,
have heard that like some people were afraid to really do that in the beginning.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
and
so
also, and the sad part is, everybody was really afraid to do it, and also, man, I'll just say it, and Andrew, which we had the largest club. There were several people. There were like people like JJ, like Kellyanne, like myself, and Monster, who wanted to record,
yeah.
but because we wanted to record our Keiko and we wanted to be able to put, I don't know, put some video or picture or whatever online, and because Andrew, like was so tight and was trying to keep it, make sure that any visuals that came out of our club, he could monetize. If he couldn't monetize it, you couldn't do it, and he just made it.
Yeah.
At the time, I was ignorant and didn't really know much. I just was like, well, okay, I guess that's the norm, like in my mind. And I was just like, that's weird. Like, I
Yeah.
can't even record myself. Like that's my video, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
he was real weird about it. And
Yeah.
now, I mean, and we all know him now, so
Yeah.
We're all
we
aware.
all get it now. It's like, okay. So that was one of the first when I started my own club. I was like, you know what? No, this isn't some like hidden secret. Like anything that I would teach or that we do, it could probably help somebody else who's just starting a club, and
Yeah.
they get to visualize a structure like, oh shit. So yeah, I would use me as a reference. Great. And that was my philosophy of it. I'm like, I'm trying to share sumo with the world.
Sumo
So
is for
there's no
everyone.
secrets. There's no
Get it
secrets.
in front of the eyeballs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've done a fantastic job at that. And the more sumo grows in the US, like that just everybody's doing it now. There's so many different clubs are live streaming their Keikos or doing like
As
what
they
we
should.
do and just, doing videos and then putting them together
Yep.
afterwards and
Yep.
stuff like that. It's so nice to see like all this US sumo content out there now. And I think that really has driven the proliferation of new sumo clubs in the US.
That was my thought back then, and to watch it become a real thing.
Coming
It's
to
like
fruition.
it is. Yeah, I mean, I was like, see, this is all we really needed, because I mean, like
Yeah.
it was a desert, and if people can't see it being done, if they don't have access to seeing that, seeing it being done, then in their own small town, they're just like, well, I can't do that myself. But if
Yeah.
but if you have it out there on the socials, and you don't know how many countless times, like new guys are like, "Hey, I'm thinking about starting a club. Like, do you have any pointers?" Boom, and I just start dropping knowledge on them. Like, I'm not trying to hoard that. Like, it's like planting a seed and just watching the forest grow.
Yeah.
I'm just flicking
Yeah.
seeds everywhere. And then haphazardly they grow and blossom on their own, and each tree or flower is different and in different ways. I'm just spreading seed everywhere.
No, it really is beautiful though, and this is something that that we tell our members too, especially ones who are driving like long distances to get to Keiko. It's
That's
like
wild. You're a New Mexico person. That is dedication, dude.
yeah.
God.
But yeah, we tell people all the time, you know, whenever you're ready, if you want to go and start your own sumo club in you know, Gainesville or wherever you're coming from, do
Yeah.
it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
do
Yeah.
it. Because we want there to be more. We
Yeah,
want
Of
sumo to
course.
grow in the US.
I just want to be surprised. I want to see like, just some like, random club, pop up in like, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then say, "Oh, how did you guys find sumo?" Just kind of connect the dots, see where they came
All
from.
branches out. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we branched out from the Gainesville one, and oh, Gainesville branched out from Kuruwashi, and like, yeah,
Yeah. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
beautiful, isn't
I love that.
it? But you did mention previously that you decided to start a sumo tournament in the middle of the pandemic. So
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
kind of switch focus a little bit right now and talk about that a bit. What was it that made you decide you wanted to start your very own sumo tournament?
Oh yeah. 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 It was actually a lady from the Austin, Japan community, the AJC. It was who just lightly was just like, you know, you should do your own tournament. Like and we like AJC can volunteer. And I at first I was like, no, I don't have time for that. I don't have the experience, no nothing. Uh, but it just like it would not leave my mind. And I was like, no, I think I could do it. And so my BJJ buddy, who I had known for a while, he has a or had a gym called Dark Clan Fight Club.
Huh.
And we were both dark. And he was like, "Yeah, dude, you can do." He was like, "You can totally do it here." And then it was born, and coming again, like I guess coming from my background with cycling and hosting huge, cycling tournaments, I know how to organize an event on a budget, and I did, and it was definitely a budget. And um, but I also told myself I was like, all right, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this right. And I was like, well, you know what? Nobody is live streaming their tournaments. Like nobody's done that. Even Andrew's got, Andrew, he has these huge recordings, and we would always have to wait for like 2 to 3 months just to get video of the US Open. And by then it was already edited perfectly but you never saw the whole you never saw the whole tournament. There was like the highlight reels and this
Yeah.
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 and I was like, no. A buddy of mine is like was super into gaming and stuff like that, and I'm not a gamer, but he introduced me to Twitch and stuff like that. And I said, I was like, well, what software do you use? And and he was like, oh, I use Streamlabs and blah blah. And I'm like, yo, this is kind of an untapped market, like being able to like stream, using Streamlabs, being able to stream on, multiple platforms and stuff like that, like on Twitch and on YouTube. And I was like, I taught myself the software, and I coughed up the money to buy all the stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to make transitions between cameras. And it was cool, and people really dug it. They were like, "Yo, this is next level!" Like, but I mean, looking back at it, it wasn't the best, but it was good for the time because nobody had done it. And like, I even had little like, if you look back at the videos, like I had interviews and stuff, but I think the microphone was messing up a little bit. But I
Yeah.
mean, it was awesome. It was a good time, and now live streaming is a staple. You know,
Yeah.
it's starting to become a staple, I guess, for tournaments. But yeah, it was fun. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this again. And how did I even again? I think from Texas Sake, that's how I found the owner of Dreamland.
Oh, nice.
The dude's like this filthy rich. He's a billionaire. And he just he liked to come in, have sake, shoot the shit with me, and he really liked me. And I guess, or my personality or whatever. And I guess he was just like, hey, I think I had told him about the tournament I did at my friend's gym, and the guy was like, you know, I think you should hold your next tournament at my place. And I was like, what? Bro, I was like, let me quickly tell you, I don't have money. I was like, let me stop you right there. I don't have, and he's like, no, man, like we'll work it out. Like, and dude, for that first one, he was like, you just bring as many sumo wrestlers as you can, and we'll pack that place. And I was like, wait, what? Is this really happening? It was a dream come true. You know, just the universe lining things up, you know.
Yeah.
And it just has snowballed into this much bigger thing. This year is going to be the biggest one, because we are collaborating with the Otaku Food Festival. And so they already have their own following.
Yeah.
And
we've seen it.
yeah. And I mean, everywhere they go, like they're Houston based, but they do stuff, they do stuff this weekend. We're gonna be in San Antonio. They do Dallas based stuff, and
they came up to Denton at the mall too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, shit. You gotta link up with them.
How did you guys end up collaborating, like to do the tournament?
So, I mean, just at the, one of the what do you call it? One of the festivals. Just got in a decent relationship with the guy who does Otaku Food Festival named Vincent, and it was a thought of mine. I was like, damn, this guy's got, we sell already. The sumo tournament sells out every year. It's like the tickets sell out, and like, but I mean, okay, but that's like 300 people or something or whatever. And I'm like, this dude's already got, like just thousands of people that already come just for the food and vendors and stuff like that. Dreamland, there's so much wasted potential space at Dreamland because there's so many levels. Most people don't know how many other levels there are. It's 14 acres, by the way.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's huge. And so I was like, yo, I think this would be awesome. And so I brought it up. I think last year I brought it up to Vince finally. And Nick knows. It's been in my mind, but I was like, I don't know. And I finally just said, hey Vince, I got this place that I host a tournament at. It's massive. And I think you should do it. And so he was like, oh, all right. Well, just let's pick a time and I'll we'll have a meeting. Took him out there to Dreamland. He fell in love with it. The owner was just like, okay, this is awesome. And we started coordinating it. And now this is going to be way too many people.
It's going to be like a megazord of freaking sumo and food.
Sumo and Asian stuff. And
I know. As soon as I
20
heard, I was
food
like,
vendors.
oh God, where is everybody going to park?
They're going to be, so that's its own thing. But that a whole acre of land is now being delegated and turned and marked off to be parking. And so I've got volunteers from one of the high schools here there in Dripping Springs who are going to be out there as like car directors. And
nice.
God, this is going to be.
Who would think that like a sumo tournament, remember, like, because you were just even talking about the first tournament, that you had done, or even the smaller tournament, the first one you competed,
the 30-person
compared to now where we need, volunteers to help corral the traffic. That is badass.
It's a little nerve-wracking, but because I also do have my day job, but I juggle between my my work life and then literally, like, sometimes I wake up super early. Like a lot of these fight cards, I'm up at like 6 a.m. trying to put them together just so I can post them. Boom. Then I'm running to work, and it's yeah.
About the Otaku Food Festival and the Consulate's Cup becoming part of that now, or is it the other way around?
It's
Otaku's
the other way,
becoming part of
'cause-
Consulates.
Yes, because you know, Consulate's been at Dreamland, and so this is now I've now like dispersed otaku around the land,
Around the tournament.
around the lands of the Consulate.
Right.
But the Consulate's still at in that pickleball area, and you still have to buy tickets to have a seat there. Now, if you want to come and just enjoy Otaku Food Festival, you can see sumo from a distance. That's fine.
Right.
But
Oh, I already bought a whole VIP table. I made sure that I had my everything set up for me. But
Beautiful.
what sort of benefit do you think this is going to bring to
Oh.
the tournament?
People who wouldn't have known or came to to sumo. Sure, they like exposure.
Yeah.
If they come, all these people, some of these people are coming for food. Some of these people are coming for little weeb stuff.
I mean, look at this.
all of
Look at
them-
the.
That's me. I like the weeb stuff.
I mean,
But-
look at the Otaku Festival that was in Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
That's how they picked up Itan, and now she's a world medalist. So
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
They come for, and it gives them an excuse to come. They're like, oh, cool, weeb stuff or food. Like, all right, I'm a foodie, I'm a this, and then they look over and it's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
awesome. I'm
Yeah.
going over there. And then you get a world medalist.
Hell yeah.
It's just
Hell
exposure. It's all exposure. And he already brings his own numbers and it was just a no-brainer. So it just made sense. It's called lazy marketing.
Yeah, right? That's so genius. Oh my God.
You.
So let's actually switch gears here a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about pro sumo.
All right.
So, did you watch the most recent Basho?
Yes, breakfast and a
You
brunch.
know he did.
Every single day.
I know. Good, because I did not. I was too busy with other shit. What were some of your favorite moments from the September tournament?
Oh boy. I mean, one of the main highlights, honestly, Uda, like he did so well. And he was killing it. Crazy moves. I think it's day 12 or day, yeah, I think it's day 12. Uda versus Tobizaru.
Oh,
Crazy ass fight. Loved it. Loved every minute of it. Huge fan. And then of course, our boy Big Blue, as we call him on the show. You're my boy Blue. And so
Hell
he's
yeah.
Mr. Onosato himself. It's only because, I mean, for those that don't know, I mean, he was just sharing the dojo with us commoners 2 years ago, where in Alabama, I did Butskati with him backstage, and
that's so cool.
Every
and
time
now
we see him, we're like, we know people who fought that guy.
I'm like, I've touched him. Ooh, these hands have never been washed.
Just get to bury your head in his cleavage and push him around the
Yes, I dream about that often.
I didn't really get a chance to watch much of the Boss show besides that one day I was doing like early morning training for work and I actually got to catch some of Breakfast and a Boss show. But I did watch, there was like this really short news conference that they had where they announced that he's being promoted to Ozeki.
Oh, he is Ozeki as of today.
He is definitely Ozeki.
We are super proud of Onosato.
So fucking cool.
Shout out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome sauce.
Oh, Brono Sake.
Any other favorite moments?
Other than Onosato winning and Uda going crazy, those were my big ones.
Okay,
Those
full
are the ones that just made me
disclosure.
happy.
We're basically just skipping doing any coverage of the tournament this time around because we're just way too busy with other shit right now. So I was hoping like, oh, I'll just ask Justin some questions about it, and then, you know, that will be good enough.
I was super into, you know, watching how well Hirata Umi was, you know, trying to, you know, stay in Sanyaku.
Basho, I've been.
Oh, Hideomi, he's a, you know, I call him my dark horse. He's always been my dark horse just because he's people sleep on him, and he's got great foundation, great technique, and he's got staying power. So I always like to see him. So Hideomi is has always been one to watch for me.
I love his style though. He's just
so much power.
He's explosive,
like a smaller guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that he like fights. It's almost like he's a hybrid of like, you know, kind of doing some of the more like lightweight kind of stuff, but then he's also fights like a big man when it calls for it. He just don't care. He just does it.
I also, I mean, you know, of course, shout out to the Little Thick Boy Club. You know, there is one we call Bobblehead, and for a lot of you guys, a lot of these inside like nicknames will probably go over your head but you have to watch Breakfast at a Basho, and then you'd understand. But Asakoryu, his name is, we call him Bobblehead just because, I mean, dude's got just like this really buff body and just a massive head, and then always whoever does his hair, they make his head look even bigger because like it like fans out.
That's whenever we first started noticing Hirata Umi, whenever he first got into Juryo. I think he had helmet hair. Yeah, I think it's the same. What do you call that? Is it not Toshiori? What's the other one? Tokoyama. It's the same Tokoyama is probably doing, you know, freaking Bobblehead's hair that used to be
like, this is my style.
It almost looks like a plastic G.I. Joe like Chonmage.
Hey,
it's so weird.
It's like a brand of hair.
It does look like Cobra. Oh my God, like those Cobra helmets.
Oh God.
But no, I think, I don't know how, but Pancakes has started to catch on. Like, and all of the other like sumo live stream chats I've seen.
The Pancakes, dude, it's bleeding into regular sumo culture.
And banana titties is starting to too. I can't help but use that.
Oh God.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
I know.
It's just like, damn, they are banana shaped. Look at them swingers. And the fact that Aoyama has no nipples.
Yes. Okay.
It's just like a smooth skin. Oh, really?
Oh God, there was a huge debate because we would go back and like watch video and be like, is YouTube just like somehow blurring them out, or like NHK or whatever?
Are they censoring his nipples to avoid
right? It's just like a soft, you know, just like as if somebody would just erased his nipple off of him. It's just like it's so hilarious.
No, they're there. They just hang very low and they're very light colored.
Yes. They point outwards.
They do. They point in different directions.
Yes.
He's upset.
I'm very observant of all the Rikishi's nips.
You can't, but no, but even they are too. You always see, even like at the tours, they're always like, you know, like
yeah, they're always like touching each other's nipples and stuff.
Just like the punk scene in Oklahoma in late 1990s. We had the nipple game too.
Oh.
Okay, well, besides nipples, who would you say are some of your favorite Rikishi, either past or present?
Past, hands down, Haruma Fuji. Present. Who was really honestly currently Ono Sato is really doing it. Here's why I say that. I'm not just jumping on a bandwagon. There was, you know, I came in watching sumo, watching Hakuho's rise to fame against Asashoryu, you know, and just really watching him like dethrone Asashoryu. Mm-hmm. And then watching that dynasty of Mongolians, Kakuryu, and what do you call it, Hakuho, and my favorite. Oh my God,
Haramafuji.
Haruma Fuji. Sorry, my brain's going blank. And so I think I was a little spoiled by that, like such great, by that greatness and that consistency of winning. You just knew that, and it was a time, and there, of course, there were guys like Goedo. You just knew that those in the top, if you were Sanyak, if you're Ozeki or Yokozuna, you were coming away with, with just a Yusho or at least, at least 13 wins or so.
Yep.
And I think these last few years, we've had hopefuls. We've had like Kisano Sata was supposed to be hopeful, and Dunzo. Teruno Fuji was a great story, dropping down from the bottom and coming back up. But did he have, but injuries with the staying power? And guys like Takakeisho, he was the great Japanese hope, to knock out the the Mongolian horde and the Mongolian reign of nope. And so then it was
Kirishima, they were kind of getting behind Kirishima for a second.
They were kind of getting behind him, and what's his name, who just got injured and now he's out.
Asanoyama.
Asanoyama was their next great hope, and I even started to actually feel hope again. And then Asanoyama, got messed up, and so I say him because it's the first time where I have a confident feeling in a great one. That's not just, Hakuoho. We thought, oh my God, this dude, we finally got a fucking, a pit bull that's about to just, and even that didn't pan out. But our dreams are slowly, a dream of a superstar is finally here.
Yeah.
And that's why he is my pick overall.
Hell yeah.
Not just because I knew him, but
Yeah.
It's like I buried my face in his cleavage. I have to root for him. But no, those are solid reasons, honestly. And that's like really close to, the reason that, I'm all about Onosato, other than the fact that it's just like, I know people that touch that guy.
Yeah.
But it's like, just seeing this kid, he's young, he's powerful, and he's just got to get up and go. Like it's just like every piece of the puzzle's there, and I just want to sit back with the bucket of popcorn and just see what he could do.
Yeah.
And like I'm super excited about him. Hakuoho, it's like if his shoulders, once he gets used to his new shoulders.
I know. And but it was, I mean, again, it was the same thing, with like Takakeisho. You're like, he's so great when he's healthy.
Yeah.
It can't be, it can't be this thing of that person's great when, when they're healthy. Sometimes the stars align to push someone to greatness where, injuries not a thing, or, this, like, there's no other, all the stars align to where they just, everything falls right into place. There's a lot of would be great, amazing potentials, but if you're constantly getting injured, then I hate saying it, because as someone who's pretty much getting out of the game because of my knee, it's sometimes life, that's the card, you got the cards you dealt with, and you hate to see it, but that's sports, and that's any sport, that's any boxing, all these people, you name it, who have this potential, and then they just get this like one in, or they just they're injury prone, or this and that, whatever it is, and just only a handful of people make it through to like that upper echelon of greatness by happenstance, a lot of time by chance, by pure luck of no injuries, by pure luck of age of when they found it, by pure luck of all kinds of factors, Who knows what I would have been if I found sumo at 18. Jeez Louise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trent Sable wouldn't be holding that silver. motherfucker.
I think too, it's like
Love you, Trent.
the kind of schedule they have. They don't really have a lot of time to heal from injuries either.
Yeah.
So that definitely doesn't.
Yeah.
help.
Which, I think somebody had brought this conversation up in on Breakfast in the Boss show. Would I be fine with like a quarterly tournament versus 6? Yes.
Yeah.
I would.
I would say yeah, if I can keep my my peoples around and and there's then they have the ample amount of time to just rest their body. Yes.
And
I'll
honestly,
take it.
sometimes it's too much to just like keep up with watching 6 Basho a year, you know? Like
Yeah.
quarterly would be
Or
fine. with
or a
me.
year would be special enough and it just
Yeah. Seasonal.
It used to be,
I know.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
All
they
four-
figured
all-
out,
it was
oh, we
all
can
4
get more
seasons.
money if we do it more often.
Yeah. Money makes the world go round, I guess.
Indeed.
Anywho,
Well,
shall we
we
wrap
are
up?
getting to the end of our interview now, Mr. Kizzart. But we have one
It's fun.
last segment
Oh Lord.
called Supari of Truth.
Oh my
This
goodness.
is
All right.
a lightning round of sorts where we will ask you different questions. Some of them I came up with myself. Some of them were submitted by some of our fans or your fans.
Okay.
And you have to try to give an answer as quickly as you can. Don't think
I got
about
you.
it.
Yep.
As fast as you possibly can.
All right, here we go.
All right, Supari of Truth. First question. Are you going to watch the Vince McMahon documentary premiering on Netflix today?
No.
Any particular reason why?
Not that into pro sumo.
Just don't care. Okay.
Or pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling. You said pro
wrestling.
sumo.
Sorry,
You are too into pro sumo.
I just dabbled into just in 42 years of my life have just dabbled into pro wrestling. I went with a friend of mine and was like, okay, I can kind of like this again. But as a kid, when some older kid told me that they were like, dude, that's not real, then I couldn't unsee it. And I left it alone even in the 90s, at the peak
it's
of
real, but it is also scripted.
it hurt my heart. Then, of course, then I moved on and did martial arts and watched pride fights and stuff like that. And the very first what's that?
Pride, Pancrase.
UFC.
Yeah. Oh,
UFC, yeah.
Sorry. So
that's when it was interesting.
Yeah.
It was brutal as fuck. Sorry.
And
Wait. One word intro. I'm sorry. I was supposed to give a quick.
No, you're good. You're good.
It's okay. It's okay. We're already getting off track. I just want to say you did mention when you got to Texas and you were doing sumo in San Antonio. That was with Caleb Backus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Caleb Backus, Mighty Eagle Sumo Club in San Antonio. He's actually the one that got us back into pro wrestling because we were watching it when we went out to
pro wrestling
Cup in Tennessee, and then like on the way back, he was playing it. I think it was on his phone in the car.
Yeah.
And we were just like screaming through the mountains of Tennessee, watching pro wrestling in the middle of the night.
And
was fantastic.
it started a whole thing.
It started the whole thing.
Yeah, but for me, pro wrestling is like a drag show. It's not supposed to be real. It's just a big drag show. And that's what I love about the pageantry.
It's all just.
I'm appreciating it like that now. Yes. As an adult, I'm like, okay, I'm rewatching, but I still, Vince McMahon. I don't know. I don't care.
I feel you.
All right, next question.
I just want to watch it because I hate that guy so much. Okay, Supari of Truth. And you don't have to give like a one-word answer. Just like the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. All right. Next question. We know you're secretly one of us. So, what's your favorite punk band?
Oh my god, why am I going blank? The
what do you call it? 1998, 1999. You're gonna go.
It doesn't matter what year.
I will say I was more ska.
Ska's fine. Ska is good.
Ska is punk. I mean, it's still
it is the whole story of two-tone back in the day.
Damn it, it was two-tone. That was
Justin,
exactly.
Are you a rude boy?
I would love to have been one. I just need the British accent. It's just it felt like it didn't work without the British accent. You're much too young. Oh man, it was fun. We were down doing little crazy shit.
Oh hell
A
yeah!
ska, like a skankin, like a ska mod.
Yeah.
Skankin. Yeah. I was a weirdo.
I
Continue.
was
I was
skanking too
skanking
when
in
I
the
was
pit.
younger, but that was a different
Oh
thing.
yeah.
All right, next question. What advice would you give to a pusher thruster type person to increase the power of their tachi without letting their opponent too close to their belt? This was one of the why do I say that? One of the listener submitted ones.
One of the users. Um, suggestion for Tsupati to keep them away from the belt.
So, like, if they're trying to come up off the tachi, they want to be able to, keep someone off their belt, but be able to get their supari in.
Oh,
yeah.
There is a technique. And again, it depends on your arm length, but there is a technique right off the tachi of pushing. And Abi does this very well.
Yeah.
Abi, I'm not a fan of Abi, by the way, but he does.
We'll argue about that later.
he does extend very well, and it's when you come up and you hit at the collarbones.
Yeah.
You hit at the collarbones in that area, even if, because for me to be effective, if I want to come and hit in, I need to be able to stay in this position to get the most amount of power when I grab. But if I'm coming up and somebody stops that momentum at my shoulders and raises me up, then I'm extended and I have to try to like reach back in. So yeah, that first initial hit, and then you need to follow up with just constantly keeping them there, because all I'm gonna think about if I was that person is defending. So now my hands are not just trying to go for the belt. I'm defending and looking for one of them to slip so that I can finally grab the belt. But I'm preoccupied up there. There's my answer.
So overwhelm
Got
them.
it.
So the
Yeah.
tachi, you come off the tachi, with your hands ablazing, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
So you come off the tachi, so I just come out blasting.
Yeah.
And then just keep blasting. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, careful.
Oh, sorry.
Next question. Where's the best place to get drinks in Austin?
Shit. There are so many, but you know what? I'm a huge fan, and I've been going, I'm a huge fan of dive bars in Austin, because there's a lot of fancy places to drink, and they're most of them are crazy expensive. But my two places, which one of them closed down just recently, unfortunately, this place called the Giddy Up, and then another place called Sam's Town Point, because they still got $3 beers, and I am here for it. I don't need to go to a place where there's $12 beers or whatever. Like that's insane. That's insane. So yeah, Sam's Town Point.
Next question. If you had a chance to go back to Japan, where would you like to go?
I go every year, and I would say next year is gonna be. Oh, we always go to a different area. Last year we typically stay in the prefecture of Hyogo, where my wife's from, where Osaka is. And last time
I want to go to Osaka.
It's wild. It's fun.
Yeah.
But we like to go to we're not really big on city stuff. We like to go out and into the middle of the country and stuff. So we go to last year we went to Awaji Island. Ooh. Which is really fun. It's like a little island near Shikoku, right. Basically, if you go to Kobe, you gotta take a really long bridge over to an island, and it's a small island, but it was really cool. It's a little sleepy beach town, and then we went up north to the mountains and stayed in this little mountain town for a few days, and so this time around. Probably just another place in Hyogo. I've been so many. You know what? Ideally I would like to at one point in time go to Hokkaido.
Oh,
I'm a huge fan of cold. I don't like cold too much, but I just want to experience it for a couple of days.
Maybe
And
Hokkaido in the summer.
Yeah.
no. I want to see their winter. I'd like to see it. I mean, that's what they're known for, and I'd like to see the ice sculpture contest that happens there. I mean, it's elaborate. So I'd like to check that off my life list.
I
Yeah,
heard that the food
there's
up
my
there
answer.
is just amazing in Hokkaido.
Amazing. They have these huge hairy snow crabs that are like the size between my elbow and my other
Oh
elbow.
my god.
Oh.
They're massive. And I'll fuck up some crabs. That'll be
hell
good.
yeah.
All right, next question. In as few words as possible, describe what it was like doing commentary for World Championship Sumo.
Gotta be a little politically correct on this one. Well, I'm still trying to get this money, motherfucker. I will say educational. It was because um doing production with the level of production that they had. I mean, that was straight up like as if we were on ESPN or and stuff like that. And so I will say I soaked a lot of that professionalism on the broadcast side of things so that I could like think about and take away from it for when the stuff that we do gets to that level.
Yeah.
So it was good to see. It was good to see how the big boys do it, how professionals do it in broadcasting.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that on the broadcasting side.
I have to say my opinion was I was very, very happy to hear the correct names of Kimarite on that.
I think a lot of people were. They left comments.
We were grateful that there was somebody finally up in there who could pronounce all this shit right.
Yep.
All right. Next question. Who is your number one sumo romantic partner?
Ura. Or wait, pro or
it doesn't
or
specify.
amateur.
It just says bromantic partner.
Cornelius.
All right, next question. Who is your sumo side piece?
Cornelius. No. Oh, so stupid.
I just remember like when we were I can't remember what tournament it was, but me and Caleb and someone like I think you were there. We were doing commentary on some live stream. I think it was one of the Florida tournaments. And I just remember like Caleb just starts giggling and then he like goes, Justin, or he was talking to Cornelius, said, Corn, Justin wanted me to tell you he's hot for your taco meat. And then just cracked up. I just lost it. Like
I love Corn so much. So if Corn's my main, then
great.
Alejandro, you're my side piece. Yes.
Okay.
I love them both. And we all every time we go to Nashville and in Florida and everywhere. Like I enjoy, and when Alejandro was at the World Championship Sumo thing, we have a blast. We have a really fun time, and I enjoy traveling with that guy. So yes.
Awesome. All right, next question. What are your favorite ways to increase your protein intake?
Sweet Jesus. When I'm on season, like right now I'm probably a little more smaller. I haven't really been working out as much, but when I'm training for nationals or something, and I've got this stuff called like Biome Shake, which has a lot of these like different probiotic stuff. I also have mass the protein, and I take, and what do you call it for your joints? Collagen peptides. So
do you have like any specific snacks or anything like that you prefer for quick protein intake?
Yes. What are they called? Barbell protein because they taste amazing. They don't taste like protein shit. It tastes like straight up like candy bar.
Like a
And
damn Snickers or something.
that's dangerous as fuck.
I have had like the Met RX protein bars, and it just tastes like you're, munching on chocolate flavored protein powder.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but barbells and they're the flavor. My favorite flavor is the cookies and cream. Barbell protein bars are the shit. I can eat those, and I'm not without even thinking about protein. I'm just like, oh, this is so good.
Nice.
But it's actually good for me, so that's good.
All right, next question.
How zero sugar? Sorry, go ahead.
What are you dressing up as for Halloween?
I'm not telling you. I can't say it. No, it's good. It's so good. It's so good. I have it right now. I ordered it. I got it in like a few weeks ago. Like it's gonna be fun.
Nice.
I can't say it makes it less fun. It makes it less
Okay,
fun.
you have to surprise everybody with this. So if you're listening to this, wait until you see Justin.
Wait till the consulates. And also, I'll say it's no.
Okay, I was like, no, you
Nope,
can't
nope.
give it away.
Yeah.
I was gonna say is like if you hadn't decided, you should be a Klingon with me.
Oh goddamn, that would be great,
I'm not sure we're gonna be able to do Klingons this year, but we can.
dude. Because we would have to like do a lot of makeup
They
stuff.
sell it on Etsy. They sell the forehead ridges.
And
on
you
Etsy.
just put like the little glue on there, and then
Yeah.
it just sticks, and then you
Yeah.
have the makeup.
I already got a big ass fucking forehead, so that
Shit.
I got the full on. That'd be great.
That actually makes me remember another question that I wanted to ask you, but I didn't put it on the list for whatever reason. What is your favorite Star Trek series?
Deep Space Nine.
Deep
Yes,
Space Nine?
that is correct.
Yeah, it gave me. It definitely gives me all the feels, and but yeah, Deep Space Nine. Never mind. Yeah,
You
no, that's
can't
it.
sleep on Lower
There
Decks.
was so much.
Yeah, you
Like
can't sleep on
Odo
it.
was one of the most dynamic characters
hell yeah.
of all time. Like man, I can go on and on about Star
Oh,
Trek.
Fucking
Yes,
us
Garrick-
too. Garrick.
Garrick. Oh my God.
yes.
Garrick.
Eric had an amazing story arc. Like
Hell yeah.
it's so good. It's so
I
good.
know, right?
And then
Oh.
just like the whole journey, like from Cisco,
Yeah.
having everything that happened with whenever Picard was Locutus, and then it goes to him,
yeah.
like, he ascends to the dimension of the prophets, but like that whole thing, that
yeah.
whole journey is just like, wow.
Yeah.
You see, that's why you are correct. That is the best one.
I implore everybody to watch that series. Damn it!
Yes.
It's on Paramount Plus. All of them are on Paramount.
Have you
Yeah.
seen Lower Decks yet?
I have.
The
I've
animated
watched.
one?
I watched 2 seasons of it. I haven't watched everything. I don't know why I don't get
The later seasons are better.
fully.
Yeah, I
in-
think Deep Space Nine is my first favorite, and then Lower Decks is my second favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lower Deck is number 2. Huh. Okay, I will give it another go. But the worst one, and Caleb's gonna kill me. Fucking what's that? What was the one where it was like basically back in the beginning, like Enterprise or something, where like the engineer's like a cowboy dude.
Oh,
It was
Scott
like,
Bakula, the Scott Bakula one?
I fucking hate that series.
Enterprise, yeah.
Yeah, I can't
never
do it.
remembered it.
You don't need to, honey. You don't need to. It
It's
is
just that bad.
Yeah, I figured that's probably what
Ah.
I would avoid.
Caleb's like, yeah, but like that's that's exactly how we would be if we were taking our first journeys into yada yada. I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like,
Don't know.
I can't get past. I mean, the acting is kind of bad. And
It's
I
like,
mean,
why did this guy quantum leap into Star Trek? Go
Yeah.
quantum leap somewhere else.
yeah, I don't know. And this the cliche, like the cowboy thing, like the guy who's supposed to be like Scotty, like the engineer or whatever. He's just like he's a Western cowboy kind of thing, which works fine on a show like Firefly for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to have one character of Firefly dropped into a Star Trek world,
Nah.
because Firefly
that shit outta here.
basically was a space western.
It was a space
You
western.
know?
Exactly.
So that's why it works with that. But
Star Trek is not a Western.
no.
Thank
no.
you. I swear to
It's
God, I
not the
think
same
someone
vibe.
probably was like, yeah, they were probably a huge fan of Firefly and were like, how can we push this into the, Star Trek world? And I'm like, it doesn't. You don't
don't.
put squares into a round peg.
Yeah, or wait.
You can't graft an apple branch onto an orange tree and expect to grow fruits. It's just don't work that way.
It doesn't work that way, Caleb. It doesn't work that way,
These
Caleb.
analogies are getting really wild. I'm just going to go on to the next question. Jared Parham wants to know if you want to team up for nationals. Yes or no?
Team? What? How would we team up?
I don't know. I didn't.
I think
understand
I think what
this
he's wanting. Oh, they released the thing that
What does he want to hold hands? I don't know.
the bids are open for nationals. I think he wants
to host nationals.
Wait,
Sure.
Wait.
Nationals needs to be in Texas. It needs to be in Texas.
That's what Parham was talking about.
Was he volunteering us to be part of that?
He just wants there to be people to host nationals. He's into it. He's into it.
I'm never gonna have any free time ever again.
No, but hey, I will gladly support and help that for sure.
We're going to have our Denton tournament 2025. I talked to Denton Parks and Rec about trying to rent out the where the water park is, how they have that huge thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if I could work either that or the Civic Center, but in Denton, that's where I'm going to have what I'm thinking of doing is just doing men's open weight, women's open weight, and then the Masters.
Yes.
Yeah, Masters.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the main thing I want to do. I just want there to be, someplace where us, over 40 folks are just going to be random by
Lord.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Icy Hot.
And Jared's Hall.
All right. Question. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Everybody knows, but I mean, I have, and you know what? Because for the longest time, I had like one or two that were just those are my bring down the house songs. And I know a lot of my friends who would go to karaoke with me all the time got tired of hearing that. So I retired it and I have not sung either of those songs in 2024. And it's Radiohead Creep or Jeremy by Pearl Jam.
I was about to say,
God.
watching you and freaking Jay have the country and Pearl Jam karaoke off at Caleb's house was those guys could sing.
Ever since I met Jay, so usually that was my shtick. The the one black guy that knows all the 90s songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then along comes Jay. I was like, why is he singing all the songs on my playlist? Who are you? Who? It's like what do you call it? That bizarro world and stuff.
Twilight Zone.
You're a heavyweight me. What's going on? And he sang it good. I was like,
yeah.
I was too scared to do karaoke because you guys sang too good. And I was like, I'm just going to go up there and do my Billy Idol cat screech.
Yeah.
I had to wait till everyone got drunk before I went up there.
I got wasted at that party. I was so...
Oh, that was fun.
And then, what was it? It was me and Merman doing the backup vocals for that Tina Turner bit.
Oh yeah, they even have the synchronized dancing, rolling. They were her and Merman were seriously synchronized dancing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Merman.
Merman.
He had his bachelor party last week and he's gonna get married next month.
Congratulations.
Which is why he won't be at the consulates, but still, he's getting married.
Yeah.
Duh,
you got to do those things.
Yeah.
All right. What else you got?
Next question. Jake Poirier wants to know if you like him or if you like him.
I like him. Let me see where's my little thing that's
oh yeah, your little thing.
Oh, hold on. Let's see. Now, hold on a second. Let me open it up. I like him.
Oh. And for those who don't know, Jake Poirier is one of the hosts of Grand Sumo Breakdown.
And my traveling buddy.
All right, we are down to our last Supari of Truth question. This one is very serious.
Very serious. Oh, okay.
Pancakes, waffles, or French toast?
We have had this argument on my show. French toast, motherfucking all the way.
Really?
Yes.
Soggy ass bread. Really?
If you cook it right, it's not soggy.
No, thank you.
I
And then
don't know.
For me, it goes French toast, waffles, pancakes.
But waffles
Good man.
can hold so much syrup.
But you know what? As a kid, I was really weird. And again, this I guess is OCD. I would literally put a dot of I would make sure I put a dot of syrup in each one of the little
I'm the
squares.
same way. It's
like-
maximum syrup. It's maximum syrup. You know,
That was
why
weird.
not? But you're saying
Yeah.
French toast is better
Yeah,
than
when French toast is done right, like you said, some places will do it and it's kind of soggy. Not that really, but there's a point of soft, soggy. Sometimes some pancakes will be too dry. So somewhere there's a nice little in-betweener when it's burnt just right. And it's
that little skull on it.
it's so good. It's like I'll take French toast any day. Sorry.
I have to
Alright.
admit, I am of the same. Yeah. Honestly, your tier of French toast, waffles, pancakes. That is also correct.
Yes.
right.
I'll
All
take
right.
like if it's on the menu and like if the only thing is on the menu is pancakes, then I'll take it. But if you give me an option of waffles or French toast, I'm gonna pick those every time.
Yeah.
Every time I'm gonna pick those.
If you say so. All right. Well, that concludes our interview with the illustrious Justin Kizzart of Dark Circle Sumo. Haven't already signed up for the Consulates Cup? Definitely sign up for that. If you need to know how, reach out to us. Justin, how can people find you?
Look at all that. I saw your fireworks.
It's the Zoom. If people wanted to look you up online, how can they find you?
You can find me at darkcirclesumo.com or just type in Dark Circle Sumo on any one of the platforms. I probably won't respond to you on Facebook, but on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, OnlyFans. Just kidding. Or am I? For now. All the fun things except for TikTok. I fucking hate TikTok.
Man, I am so pissed
Personally.
off at TikTok. They won't let me use my own band's music or any of the songs that I wrote myself.
Oh, damn.
They
China.
said you could only use the stuff from our sounds. And I'm like, you mean the stuff that's copyrighted is going to get taken down anyway?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know? Jeez.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Justin. We can't wait to see you at the tournament. We can't wait to hang out with you so much more. And
The after party
thanks.
is going to be insane.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Can't wait for that after party for sure.
They're infamous after parties. For all you newcomers,
Oh yeah.
I will say I'm sorry now.
All right. Again, thank you so much. We'll talk to you later.
Peace.
I cannot wait for this goddamn tournament to start because I've been working too damn much lately. I literally worked 11 and a half hours today.
I seen it.
I literally did that. My brain is fucking 7-Eleven nacho machine cheese right now.
Yeah.
That's serious. It's like a cheese soup in my head.
It's mush. What is that? Who was it that said? Oh, I was on What We Do in the Shadows whenever they didn't have their ancestral soil to, under their bed to slumber. Then Nadja said that her brain felt like hot onion soup, and the soup
That
is now
is
her
exactly
brain.
what my brain feels like.
Just
Yes,
hot
thank
onion
you,
soup.
Nadja. Maybe I should just go as her for Halloween.
I mean, you practically look like Nadja anyway, and you're just
I don't have the
day-to-day
bangs
life.
anymore, though. I don't know.
You've been talking about it.
Oh my god, am I
You've
going to
been
give
talking
myself
about
bangs,
bangs.
for Consulates Cup? Is that going to happen?
Oh, look what I
Ooh.
started. When she gets banged, she blames them on me.
I do. But yeah, I'm super excited to go to Consulate's Cup and see everybody compete. We have people coming from all over the U.S., people that I love and adore and can't wait to see and hang out with and help me reset my brain from my horrible, horrible work schedule.
Oh, God, yes.
But until then, check out Dark Circle Sumo. They're the guys putting all of this on.
I think they're going to have
big
the
thanks
live
to
stream
them.
on Dark Circle Sumo on the YouTube channel.
Exactly, yes. Check out their YouTube channel where the live stream will be. I might pop in on the live stream once or twice. We'll see.
Hell yeah. Look
You
for
know.
the tournament around 11 a.m. Central Time.
I will warn you ahead of time, though, that I have absolutely ceased giving a fuck and will go full goblin mode on this
Full
shit.
goblin mode.
Okay.
Full
So be
on.
prepared for that. Yeah, check out the live stream for the Consulate's Cup. It is this Saturday.
October 26th.
Starts at 11 a.m. Central Time, runs to roughly 5 p.m. You can check us out on all the social medias. We're on YouTube as well. We're on Instagram and... I mean,
Check
we
out-
say we're on Facebook, but we don't even really use it anymore.
Hey, I use it sometimes. And you can also check out the Kurowashi Sumo YouTube channel.
Yes.
Because that's what we've been doing. You wondering how come, we've kind of dipped a little bit with putting stuff out on Sumo Punx. It's because we've mostly just been like getting together with the Kurowashi Sumo Collective and then just beating the hell out of each
We started
other.
our own sumo
Yeah.
family.
It's
We have all
fucking
these
great.
sumo babies now, and we need to feed them ass beatings.
Oh, and have we?
That's why mama's got to work 11 and a half hours a day. But anyway,
yeah, Kurowashi Sumo on YouTube and at Kurowashi Sumo on Instagram, KUROWASHI Sumo.
Of course, if you want any Sumo Punx merch, you can find that on the internet as well. Go to Redbubble or go to TeePublic. All you gotta do is type in Sumo Punx and you should find us. Remember that Punx is spelled with an X.
For extra sex.
And if you like this episode, give it a 5-star rating. It helps other people find it and enjoy it as well.
And if you're watching this on the YouTube, do the like and the subscribe and all that stuff.
Yeah, all the things the cool kids say. And I'm pretty sure that's it.
That's it.
All right. Till next time.
Bye.